Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. You're listening to XFM 104.9. Coming through today, it's noisy again out there.
It's a nightmare.
A lot of people marching up and down.
What's that about?
Well, from what I can work out, there's hundreds of them, millions of them, and they're all shouting really loudly. What do we want? Peace. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Peace. I want to go, shush.
Yeah.
We all want a bit of peace on a Saturday.
Yes.
Keep it down.
Please. I can barely hear myself think.
I know. And he's not listening. Tony's not listening. He can't hear you from there.
You may as well give up. He's not listening. There was 1 million of you last time. It didn't do anything.
Hey, but Steve, there's no attitude. You know what? I couldn't find Boy George's War is Stupid, so here's a bit of Dylan. Bob Dylan. The times, they are a-changing.
The thing is, Rick, it makes me wonder if, the times, are they changing? I mean, it seems to me that life's pretty much the same as it was way back in the 60s when Bob Dylan wrote that song.
Got any idea what you're talking about?
No idea whatsoever,
You don't really know about politics, do you?
Know anything about it. Don't even read the papers, got no interest, really.
Yeah.
Not particularly informed. My life's cushy. Won some awards and stuff, doesn't bother me. So,
on a serious note, though, it is a bit worrying. I want somebody to put my... Do I have to get gas masks or something?
No, because there are guys out there in Leicester Square today wearing novelty hats. If they don't sort this war out, then no one can.
Okay, well, I'm not talking about it anymore.
You would worry about it.
I would worry about it.
Well, maybe Steve.
Why?
Sort of people who are successful are worrying about it more than other people. Just because, well, they've got more to lose, haven't they?
Right.
No, do you know what I mean? You see, like, Bruce Willis on the telly saying, oh, it's not good, is it? And it's because he's got a big house and loads of cars. If you live, you know, on a council estate, it's like, well, if it gets bombed, probably doing us all a favour, we'll get nice new blocks of flats to live in and that. It happened with Manchester, with the bomb that happened, and they bombed the Arndale Centre. Did us a favour. Got a nice new Marks and Spencers and that.
So hold on, this puts a whole new twist to the argument when people say bombing the world's poorest countries is wrong. Because I remember when the Afghan problem was on, people were saying bombing the world's poorest country is wrong, but it's like home improvement, according to you, then.
Yeah. Because they've got a brand new B&Q, have they, over now? They're popping down there every Sunday.
Anyway, let's not go on about it, because...
Well, think what you're saying.
Yeah, I know.
My family was killed, but look, a carpet warehouse!
Yeah.
Do you know, I think, you know, people don't want to hear about this today from us. They want to hear, you know, the new features, the songs of phrase.
What song's a phrase?
It's the feature we started last week, where we take clips of songs, we make up a phrase from the show.
I mean, a famous phrase, last week's world famous phrase was, there's this airy Chinese kid, you'll remember.
Yes.
Well, it was called Crosswords last week, but Phil emailed in a good suggestion and said call it Songs of Phrase.
Brilliant. Songs of Phrase. Songs of Phrase, but perfect.
So
are we still going with Cheapest Chimps?
We're persevering with that, aren't we?
Got some Cheapest Chimps lined up. We'll be doing that before 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Great.
Again, who else can say that?
So good. So for the next 2 hours, everyone should just bury their head in the sand, ignore the world's problems, and enjoy features such as Cheapest Chimps and Songs of Phrase.
And a bit of cheering breaks.
Oh, class.
Oh. Trying to stop suddenly in Italy. TB. Cheering breaks. It's like a rockbuster, Karl.
They were the good old days.
I know, yeah. Painkiller. On XFM 104.9, but look, Rockbusters is gone. Forget Rockbusters. Long live Songs of Phrase. Over to you, Karl.
Alright, well...
You know Rockbusters was one of the things they were protesting about last time. that was why I just had to listen to them. They just kept stopping me in the street as I was trying to get to the tube. You've got to stop Rockbusters, it's run out of steam, they said, and I'm glad.
Yeah.
That's why they always do it on a Saturday.
Yeah.
They make their way to Leicester Square for 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Right.
Songs of Phrase. What it is.
Songs of Phrase.
We took a phrase from the show last week. It was, there's this airy Chinese kid, right?
Yeah.
Today, we're going back to the good old line of, about you never see an old man eating a Twix.
Sure.
Right?
How long is that?
No, you'll never see an old man eating a Twix.
You'll never see an old man eating a Twix.
It's not as many as you think, though. It's not that many.
Well, how is it not that many?
Right, well, first of all, anyway, don't worry about that. I think there's about 5, I think. Hang on a minute.
Oh, God. Why do we leave him alone to do this,
I don't understand.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I tell you what, we were flying then.
6 different songs.
6 different songs!
That's a lot to get, Karl.
But what happened is, I couldn't find a song with Twix, so we've changed the chocolate.
Oh, this is rubbish. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. No, you've got to be punished. We're not doing this. Do it next
no,
one.
you'll like
No, shut up, Carl. No, just no, we're
He's
not
put a
doing
lot
it.
of effort in.
So what?
You're right.
He's got to do it right. He's got to do it right.
No.
There's too many. We said too many. It's not. He's changed the thing. It's not a one-off phrase. It's ridiculous.
No,
it's
If
absolutely
only,
pointless.
Rick, if only his parents had spoken like that to him sometimes in the past,
Do you know
maybe
what I mean?
we wouldn't be
Right.
having this discussion
You're not
now.
doing it.
Come on.
No, we're not doing it. Steve, what have you? What do you think?
I'll tell you, we've got the prizes, but I'm
Yeah.
not even going to bother I'm not even going to
no,
bother.
no,
I think we'll just share them
no.
out amongst,
Right.
homeless.
Absolutely. No. There's troubles in the world, and I'm not going to let you faff around doing nonsense like that.
Well,
It's ridiculous.
Well, let's do it for
No,
this
let's
week.
play a beautiful song. What do you think?
I'd love to hear a great song.
Yeah, the times they are changing. We've said that. Look at
Rick, I'm
Mother
beginning to wonder
Nature
if it's
on the run. Look at Mother Nature on the run, Steve.
Yeah.
Play it.
So we're not doing.
No.
It's your own fault.
Neil Young.
Beautiful.
After the Gold Rush, one of the most beautiful, poignant songs ever, I
Great
think.
lyrics in that. Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 1970s. Forget the 1970s, Rick. I'm beginning to wonder if that's just as truthful nowadays in the year 2003.
I've told you before, you've got no idea, you don't know anything about the world or politics, so
I don't know why you persist.
I don't know why I keep saying it myself, Rick. I'm a political incompetent. I don't know why I keep spouting on with this drivel.
Right.
It's The Guardian, I think, that's doing it to me. It's all second-hand information. I just read it in there, and I just
So it
think
was a good idea to
I
get
keep
on
thinking,
the,
exactly. I keep
get
thinking
on
I
the
can pass it
bandwagon.
off.
You don't
Yeah.
really care, do you, about anything in the world, really, as long as it doesn't affect you?
I haven't exactly.
Yeah.
Unless
No.
I'm personally affected by these
Yeah.
things, I don't care less.
Well, I'm the same.
You
Now,
know.
Carl, the big question, as we know at the moment, is whether we're going to let you do Songs of Phrase or not.
Rick, I should tell you
it's gone
now,
mad.
there has been a flood of. Oh no, there hasn't. Sorry, I was thinking there'd been a flood of emails, but it was people agreeing with you, Rick.
I know Tony Blair has been trying to get through.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just checking the emails now. There's absolutely nothing supporting you,
So
Carl.
no one gives a side either way about
No, well,
that,
no, that's not
then.
fair. There were a couple of phone calls, weren't there? One was the guy saying you should. I think the other one was you, Carl. Was it phoning from the kitchen?
Can we do it? Can we do it? Right.
No.
If you don't like it, we won't do it next week. But
But
the
you,
fact that I've made it.
I don't know why you did that. We thought of lots of stuff that you could do. You chose one where you have to have 10 words and 6 songs to choose. You haven't got Twix. I don't know what you've substituted Twix for.
Okay, I mean, I gotta say now, I'm gonna sit on the fence, so I'm quite intrigued.
Okay, right,
to hear it.
what have you substituted Twix for?
Well, I can't tell you.
here.
Because you can!
No, I can't because people have to listen to it and work out.
Alright, let's just hear it. Let's hear it then.
No. They know what, they have to know what the word is, they have to tell what the song is, or the
I
artist.
prefer just to play it.
No! You've got to tell them what it is, because they might not even know what word they're
I think
looking
you should
for.
let's hear him out. Rick,
Right.
please.
Right.
Democracy, that's what we're fighting for. Come on.
Right, if you turn them up.
Right, okay, I've got the headphones on. Go on then.
Right.
Okay, so, right, hang on. The phrase originally was...
Is, you never see an old man eating a Twix.
Right, and we're trying to identify a number of songs which you've used to make up that phrase.
And you email in xfm.co.uk/Ricky with as many as you can get, and whoever gets the most right can win
It's
some
so
stuff.
complicated. This
It
is
is
so
not.
complicated.
Right, here we go. Here we
It's
go.
I'm baffled by the email address. I couldn't figure
What was
that
the
out.
email address again?
xfm.co.uk/Ricky.
Right.
Right?
And there's some link on there, is there? That
Yeah, that you
Right.
just press and it comes through. Or
Brilliant.
isn't that? Right, here we go then, right?
Well, I missed a little bit at the end. Let's hear it again. Let's hear it again.
Mars, ba ba ba.
Let's hear it again. Oh no.
Oh God. Okay. Right, we'd say the prizes, Steve.
Right, so how many songs were there? Do we know?
I think it was 6.
You think there was 6?
And you'll never see an old man eat. Oh, it might be 5.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Anyway, why not email in the answers and how many there were, and you might be in with a chance of winning on DVD the original series of Citizen Smith with Robert Lindsay. That was good. Paul Whitehouse's Happiness, the first series of that on DVD. We've also got a couple of CDs here. The Best of Britpop, Live Forever, Oasis, Blur, Radiohead, and all the rest of them on there.
Right.
Supergrass's current album as well.
That's
I
all right.
think it's the current album. Yeah, it is. And
Okay.
less convinced by this one. If I tell you that some of the artists include Delamitri and Deacon Blue, then I know you'll be rushing out later, Rick, to buy this. Scotland Rocks. A compilation of...
Is Wet on there?
let's see.
What about Biss? What happened to Biss?
Let me see, I'm not gonna... I tell you, it doesn't... I mean, we've got Gun on there.
Oh, yeah.
We've got...
Oh, baby, lately.
Aztec Camera.
Yeah.
Big Country, obviously.
Proclaimer's not on there.
Wait a minute, where's Runrig? There they are. There they are. And, obviously Rafferty, Baker Street. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Brilliant.
So that's definitely worth, entering for, surely.
So, xfm.co.uk/Ricky. Play it one more time,
Yeah.
just in... Right.
And you'll never see an old man
Class. Pure class. Well done. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright,
Play
we'll go to
it. Oasis. Stop Crying Your Heart Out on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl's competition is in full swing now. I just will remind you, when playing songs of phrase and trying to guess the songs and artists, what do you want, songs or artists?
I think songs is better.
Yeah.
Alright.
But that's ambiguous, isn't it, what a song title is? Where
Yeah, I
if you
think
know
it should
the
be
artist,
artists, definitely.
maybe the artist that cleans it up really. Yeah?
Yeah.
Should we do artists?
Artists.
Okay, you know, if they know what it is, because that'd stop any ambiguity, won't it? And don't worry if you haven't got all of them, because the winner last week didn't have all of them, but it's the closest one. I understand when you're trying to guess what's in Karl's mind, you can only get so close.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He wants us to bring in Darren Brown. He go, because he won't be able to read my mind. And
Yeah.
I think he's right.
I think he might
I
be.
think he's the one person that could outwit Darren Brown.
Yeah.
Now, moving on, Karl. As we have to.
Should we just play it very quickly? Just play again
Just if
Karl's
you're in case you want
competition?
to join in. Go on then, one more time. Here it is, songs of phrase.
and you'll never see an old man
Because you have to get, you know, it is very difficult. So, you know, song or artist, we give points if you're close to any of those, and we'll choose a winner. So, you know, do
And what do points mean? Crap prizes.
XFM
xfm.co.uk /Ricky.
Ricky. Right now, we got people to send in a little thing for you last week, didn't we? The film Freaks.
A little treat.
You got a few sent in. You watched it, did you?
Yeah.
Now, I should just point out that the film Freaks, for those that don't know, was a movie that was released, I think, in the... Well, actually, it was originally made in about 1932, something like that, and then it was
Banned for
delayed.
about
It was
50
banned for many, many years, because it did, in actual fact, feature, for want of a better phrase, real-life freaks.
Yeah.
Bearded ladies being one of the more kind of familiar
There's
ones.
a guy
and
without
there's
arms and
the guy
legs.
without arms, there's all sorts. And, it was actually it's quite a tender film, isn't it? And actually portrays them as a kind of dysfunctional family. It's not exploitative in that sense, but, what do you make of it, Karl?
Well, you were watching it for the Freaks, weren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I wish... It does take a while to get onto it.
What do you mean?
Well, straight away I was disappointed, right? Because at the start, like, you put it in, it's like, oh, brilliant. Here we go, you know, I said to Suzanne, we'll watch this, we'll have a good night.
Yeah. Have a romantic night.
That's it, her birthday. You've got your gloves, now we're gonna watch some Freaks.
So, put it on, and it starts off, and it's like, you know, the following film, you think, ooh, it's like following films rated 15, which means, you know, might contain scenes of violence, bad language and sex.
Yeah.
Mention nothing about pinheads.
Right.
So I thought they missed a trick there.
Yeah.
to be honest, right? So I thought, well, let's carry on watching it.
And what exactly is a pinhead?
Oh, if you've seen it, you'd know.
Okay.
Right, so, not the best thing in it either. So
Oh.
imagine that.
Okay, so you're watching it?
So, sat there, I think, right, something comes on, and the little fella's on there, the little fella we were talking about, the Pillow Man.
Right.
Is it the best thing in it?
Now, what's the Pillow Man again?
Is a fella who, years ago, he's got no arms and legs.
Right. He's
And
just a torso.
Just
and a
rolls,
head.
yeah. And, there's a scene where you see him sort of rolling a cigarette up, just using his mouth, and it's like, he lights it and stuff. And that's weird. And then, What else is on it?
Smoking stunts your growth.
And then there's a little fella on it who is fed up because he looks 5, but he's actually 34.
Right.
Right? But there's a woman who is 42 and looked 8. So they both had the opposite thing. They were both really fed up. And I kind of thought that shows that, you know, you always want what someone else has got.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in a way, there's a story there in that.
No, you described the same there.
No, it was like...
No, they both, you just said, they both looked young, but they are actually both older.
No. This was like a little man...
Yeah. Who was
looked-
35.
Who was 35.
And looked 8.
Yeah.
And so did she.
No, well, the other way round then.
What? So she was an 8-year-old that looked 35?
Yeah. So, oh, maybe not then.
Anyway.
No.
But that wasn't that weird. I kind of thought it's a slow start on that.
Yeah.
And then,
It's not a difficult film to follow.
No.
yeah, but I wasn't really listening to what it's all about, just looking at what they had. And they had like a fella who's running about on just...
They had like he was shopping.
You know, they had a fella with no legs and he's running about on his hands. And sort of got about on a skateboard, talking to someone about it. They said that's how E.T. was done. There's actually a little fella in E.T.
Right.
who's just half of, sort of half a body.
Is that true?
I've no idea. I've never heard that before.
Why haven't we heard that before?
I've never heard that before.
I don't think he would fit in E.T. Because he's got no... Because where's the head? He's got no neck, E.T. It's a skinny little thing. There's a human neck couldn't fit in that skinny little neck.
Well,
You sure it wasn't Kenny Baker up to his old tricks?
What are you talking about, Carl? There's a fella with no legs in E.T.
in E.T. they had two fellas, right? I think they had a little, a midget fella.
Right.
Who did it. And then I think he was off sick and they were like, oh, you know, what else are we gonna do?
So they saw a guy on a skateboard going by.
And said, do you fancy some work?
Right.
And he's done it. I think someone told me, I mean, it might be wrong.
Exactly.
Might be wrong.
It
but-
might be, mightn't it? I mean, you've never been wrong before, so I don't know why you'd be wrong there.
What
So
else
what's
was
the
in it?
worst thing in it?
Now, it's intriguing to me because here's a film called Freaks, featuring real-life freaks, and you're sort of a bit nonplussed by it.
Just because it wasn't, because it's built up. If you call a video Freaks, you've got to make sure that there's some good stuff on there.
Yeah.
What were you disappointed about? Was it that?
Because there was a few things on it, right? There was a woman who said she was half man, half woman, and it's like, well, you're not, are you? It was just like she had some makeup on, I thought, well, that's rubbish. And then there was a woman who could eat using her feet. That isn't that freaky. Do you know what I mean? If she's not hungry, she looks normal.
Yeah.
And that's when I was thinking, I mean, I'm not being, right, Steve. You know I'm not being funny.
Oh, here we go.
No, but I'm just saying, if that woman wasn't eating and you were sat next to her in that film,
Yeah.
I'd probably be sort of drawn to you more than her. I'm not... I know you hate me saying it, but there's no point sort of pretending. Do you know what I mean?
Oi, Muttley, what are you sniggering about?
The fact that he's... Well, you mean there were things in it that were less... What are you saying?
I'm just saying...
Play a record. Seriously, I'll slap you. I'm gonna slap you live on air.
Yeah, but you always get...
Right, I'm slapping you live on air, I swear to God.
Alright, play a song then.
He's playing a song.
I'll play the song.
Keep the fader up.
No.
Keep the fader up. Bruce Springsteen, Atlantic City from the album Nebraska.
So melancholy, that one. I love
Brilliant.
that one. Wow. So Freaks then. All in all, not as amazing as you first hoped.
It was built up too much. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
It's like...
Is that my fault for getting you excited? I just can't
Probably.
believe it. I hand you this thing on a plate. So
I know, but-
yeah.
And I'm not being out of order, Steve. I'm just being honest. We've always said that about this show. We
Yeah,
only talk about stuff, you know,
Yeah.
that, you know, being honest and that.
Yeah, no, sure.
And I've always said the first time I saw you.
Sure, no, you've always been honest,
Do you know
and I've
what I
always
mean?
been honest with you. I've always said that, you know, you've got the intelligence and insight of a gnat.
Yeah, but if I keep quiet, people don't know that.
Sure.
Alright, don't
Incredibly, they do, Carl, because you look stupid as well.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
No, but Carl was being nice then. You don't...
I'm just saying, you're a good bloke, and now I've got to know you.
Sure.
Yeah. The first time was weird when I saw you.
Yeah.
No,
And
leave
then-
it. Don't just try to interrupt. Just to let it go.
No,
right.
I'm just saying, the
Okay.
first time,
Yeah.
it was weird and that, and then weeks go by.
And you- okay.
And the weird thing is, I kind of thought maybe he's not that odd looking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you went to LA for 3 weeks,
Sure.
and when you came back, it was like the first time again.
Right,
Yeah,
okay,
No, I'm just-
okay, wait, no, stop it now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, everyone
but-
stop it now.
That
No,
doesn't-
but I just think I'm a little bit more consistent, because I've
No,
always thought you were an idiot.
I don't want this, don't argue, it was just, okay.
No, I just, you know, you know what I mean? My opinion has
no,
never changed. I've
no.
always thought you're an idiot.
No,
Just-
it's
that's
just
been
all
through line.
nice. Let's look. Peace.
Shut
not
up,
war.
fatso.
Peace, not war.
He's just such a stirrer, isn't he?
No,
He loves it. I don't think I didn't see you whispering behind the microphone about what to say to
Look what
Carl.
I've just drawn, Carl, subconsciously.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I drew a picture of him, it's going to be on the website.
It's not been on the website.
No, it's going to be. I drew a little cartoon of him. No, not yours, I drew one of Carl. Right, okay. What were we talking about? That was a...
So yeah, no, the
Touchy
Freaks thing
moment.
is over and done with. It was alright if you want to get it out on video.
Sure.
You know, it's probably worth a look. There's a couple of things on there that get you thinking more, you know, it's like how their life is and stuff, do you know what I mean? How it's affected, and like the little pillow man, or the fella who's got half of his body missing.
Yeah.
You know, it's stuff like that you think, oh.
But what's the one that was disappointing? You said it was a half man, half woman.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that one.
Do you mean hermaphrodite or half? I can't remember it. Do you mean it was one sort of like it had bits of both?
It was just like, half a face done in makeup and long hair, then on the other side it had it shaved.
I love the idea that you go to this circus and there's people in there that have been sort of persecuted all their life, and they think, well, maybe I can make some money, and then you boo them because they're not freakish enough. I love the idea they go, boo, you're not freakish enough, boo. Oh, you've got bits of legs, boo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But there was, I mean, talking about that, you see, why did they join the circus and that? Because there are things they can do. I was telling you in the week that I was reading something on some news website about some sort of, Olympic-style games where they're going to see, like, disabled people against able-bodied.
Right. Let's be careful here, shall we?
No, I'm just saying, though.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So there is other things. It doesn't mean just because you haven't got legs you can't do other stuff.
Yeah.
And in this race, there's, like, disabled people who are beating able-bodied people.
Yeah.
I mean,
what?
Would you go and see that? I don't know.
But I mean, it depends. What do you mean? They're beating them? At what?
He didn't state what the little races were and that.
Little races. Does that
Can't help himself, can he?
no, little races. Oh look, there's the disabled with their little races.
Yeah, they're having another little race.
Oh dear.
Would you go? Would you go and watch that?
Do you remember when Jimmy thought that Paralympics stood for Paraplegic Olympics?
The Paralympics?
Yeah, it means Parallel Olympics.
Yeah.
He thought it meant Paraplegic Olympics. That would be a good site, wouldn't it? Mainly blow football.
Right.
Right. Okay. So, what was that thing I told you to look up in the week?
You were saying, I don't believe you. We're going on about, we were talking about the half man, half woman,
Yeah.
and you were saying...
You can get a sex change on the NHS, just to see what you say about that. Did you look it up?
I didn't, because I think I was wasting my time. I don't think you
I'm
can
giving
have that
all
done.
these things. Little play
Interesting
records
stuff.
are annoying
No, but
me now.
you wouldn't do that. You see, it's the other thing
You've
we were
annoyed
talking about.
Steve. You've annoyed Steve on air.
I'm sorry about that.
Well, it's just too late, Carl.
But we were talking about other stuff as well. I mean, you know, talking about operations and that. You were saying, you know, can you have a sex change done on the NHS and that?
No, you can.
Well, you say you can. I think that's a bit... It's not that important to have done, I don't think.
Well, it depends if you desperately want it. It depends if you feel that you're born actually a different sex.
Right? And then you went on to say there's other things that are done. Get this, Steve. Someone, if the cat's got a bad liver...
Kidney.
Alright, bad kidney, can have it done for £5,000.
Yeah, you can have a kidney operation.
But what's wrong with that? If you've got £5,000 you want to waste it on a cat, then fine.
Get another one. We went through loads of cats, I've told you before, as a kid, we got through loads. It's not worth it, and there's no cat that is that amazing that you'd go, gonna miss that one, it's never gonna be the same, because...
What do you mean? What would it have to be able to do to be worth it? Well, it's normally to do with people's affection for their cat. They've had the pet for many years. What do you mean? It should be able to juggle? Or
No,
do
just-
impressions, and that's why it's worth £5,000?
Supposing there was a fella, right? He feels he was born a woman. He's not happy, right? He doesn't want this he's got a knob and a couple of testicles that he does not want, right? He wants a lovely pair of tits and a minge, right? And he finds out that he gets a cut price, he gets, you know, a cut price sort of operation, a dodgy backstreet, transsexual maker, right? $5 grand. Knockdown price, $5 grand. It's done with a blunt knife and some chloroform, right? But
why have you got to have it all done?
What? You mean just like have the knob trimmed and wear a bra?
Well, yeah, I mean, are you saying if you have it all done you get some sort of offer, if you give them something?
No, I was being flippant. I'm saying, I was trying to get down to $5 grand. Supposing there was a fellow who had $5 grand to give away, right? Some old woman with her cat is gonna die. Or some fella who wants his knob chopped off and a lovely pair of tits put on. Who would you give the $5 grand to?
So, hang on a minute, so there's a fella who wants to be a woman.
Yeah.
And there's a woman who's got an ill cat.
Yeah.
Ooh. You see, I'd be annoyed. Is this $5 grand? Is this my savings, or...?
No, just, you get given $5 grand, and you go, but you've got to give it to a charity of your choice. And it's got to be one of them. You give them $5 grand.
I'll tell you what I'd do.
What?
I'd find out what the cat looks like, get a replacement, right? Say it's had the op. She's loving it, thinking it's happy again.
Yeah.
Give the fella the money.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, so you're basically saying that you'd rather have the bloke have his knob cut off and stuff than
I'd have to have a chat with him first and say, what's your problem? And say, why do you need this doing? And
I think they go through that. I think they go to counselling and live with a woman for a...
Like a second opinion thing. I'd just be saying, right, are you sure?
Yeah.
But $5 grand on a cat, even, it can only be for people who have got loads of money, right? And it's like, well, $5 grand, it's nothing.
Well, I think this debate will rage on. Should we play a record and come back to this? Think about it, though.
Yeah. Bit of White Stripes.
Placebo. Bitter End on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, you're looking all flustered and confused again.
Still sort of don't get it.
What don't you get?
Well, that's a long list, Rick.
Yeah.
The, you know, if you have your...
knob cut off.
Yeah.
It's because they feel like they're actually born a woman, and they're not living right. They can't live properly with all these things, you know. Well, I mean, there are people that are genetically the other gender. They've just grown, you know. There was one woman, actually, who was a scientist researching it and found out genetically she was a man. She had, Y chromosomes, etc. But this is something different. This is both psychological and everything else.
Sometimes it's that thing again, isn't it? You can't always have, you know, what you want. It's like, I'd like to have hair. Do you know what I mean?
But it's a bit easier. You can wear a wig. You can't go around, really. Well, you can put on, you know, false breasts and tuck it in.
That's just it as well, isn't it, you see? You say, you know, you could have the operation done and that, and yeah, you might sort of feel as free as a woman down below and that, but at the end of the day, you still look like a fella.
Yeah, here's a bra and a split tennis ball.
No.
They'd be just like Auntie Nora.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Well, yeah, but it's about their outward appearance as well and how they feel publicly. Don't forget, a transsexual, it's not a transvestite. This isn't just a builder in a dress. They have the hormone replacement as well, so they get estrogen, so they and electrolysis, so they have, you know, their face looks different, they don't go bald, they're slighter, they you know what I mean? They're the real thing. A transsexual is now the real thing. Biologically and politically and...
But they'll still be a man, won't they?
Well, it'd be embarrassing if they don't tell their new partner and there's pictures of them, you know, down the pub when they were 24, but you probably sort of get over that, don't you? They go, who's the fella with the beard drinking the yard of ale? That was me.
Well, interesting story.
Yeah.
Probably should have told you this before the honeymoon.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, you can have all that done, right? There's stuff, you know, you could have your bits done, right? You can have, like, false teeth, but you know that when you see an old person with a good set of teeth, it's like, well, they're false. There's no way you've got good teeth like that if you were brought up in, like, the 30s.
But what would you do if Suzanne said, look, I've got a terrible secret, and she showed you a picture of this kid, this little boy, growing up, you know, playing football, and then the pictures stop, at 20, just before you met her, and she goes, and she shows you a nice pair of bollocks in a jar. She goes, they were mine.
Well, first thing is he'd take back the gloves you bought her last week.
Would you go, oh, I can't go out with you now? Or would you say, well, you're the same person? I've blown his mind.
That's frazzled him.
I really have freaked him out there.
She is into sport.
Eh? Should we play a record while you give her a call?
No, but look, what I'm saying is right, it doesn't matter what you have done. We can wrap this up here, because I've got it sorted, right?
Okay.
Doesn't matter what you have done. At the end of the day, it's obvious that you've had it done. If you're a fella and you've been changed to a woman, I could spot you, right? If...
You can't, though.
I tell you what, I was at Suzanne's mum and dad's, right, up north last week, and I went to the off licence, right? Yeah. And I went in there, never seen this fella before, right? Soon as I walk in, I eye him up behind the counter, go, alright, mate.
Oh, hello.
I notice he's got a wig on, right?
Yeah.
Now, it was, I kinda looked and I thought, yeah, it's a wig, whatever. And then, I thought, I wonder if it is, and as I got to the till, I said, how much is that? He said, 50 pence, I said, great. And as he turned to the till...
Were you buying Suzanne a gift?
As he turned to the till and he did that sort of angle, you got the profile, you see the bit sticking out of the back, you go, that's a wig.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. And it's like a little, it just, the last inch just lifts away from the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, everybody who goes in that shop will probably know him as having a wig and that. He keeps him happy, but everybody knows. So, what I'm saying is, it's like...
But could I just say, transsexuals put in a little bit more effort than a fella who's plonked a rug on top and held it down with some duct tape. Do you know what I mean? You know, the only giveaway often with a transsexual is the big hands. They can't do anything about that. That's the only thing, you know.
Right,
But I mean, transvestites are different, you know, they are builders in the dress. You go in a supermarket, you turn around, you see a 6-foot woman, huge head, you go, alright love. Do you know what I mean? You know, down below, she's packing more than us 3 put together.
That's what I'm saying.
But, you know what I mean, that's one of the, if Eddie Izzard, right, you're meeting Eddie Izzard, right, who likes to pop on a dress now and again, right, what's the politics with that? Do you go, as he walks in, he's all in evening gown, and he goes, alright Carl, and you go, alright Eddie, and it's in a busy pub, and you go, oh, why is he, and you go, do you say, do you want a pint of bitter, and slap him on the back like you would a mate, or do you go, that's lovely dress, do you know what I mean, what do you do? What do you do with a transvestite?
Would you compliment a transvestite?
On their lovely dress?
If he was wearing a nice dress? In the same way that you would if Suzanne was wearing a nice
Probably in a
frock?
different way. I'd probably say, that dress, you know, looks nice. Be even nicer on a woman.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
So you try and change the way they think?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd want to teach them a lesson.
Yeah.
Sure.
In a way.
Yeah.
It's just, it's one of them things I can't get my head around, to be honest, right? I can handle hairy Chinese kids.
Yeah.
Is it true to say that you've never been able to handle a transvestite?
So I'm just going to add that to the list then, Carl, of things you can't figure out. It's now 4 volumes. Snoop Doggy Dogg, obviously, in the classic What's My Name?
Yes. XFM 104.9. We've done that, so that's good. We've done...
So we've solved the whole transvestism issue.
Yeah, let me just check. We've done hairy Chinese kids, people having their knobs cut off. I think we've
touched on the war as well. We've sorted
done
that
out. We've done freaks, haven't we? We've done freaks with no arms and legs, haven't we?
Take that.
Just don't think there's any other areas of possible offence.
Have we done Forrest Gump in a wheelie bin? Well, we touched on your Auntie Nora, but haven't mentioned her fighting for 5 minutes, or her showing you her clunge. Hold on, let me see. I don't know if I think we might have...
I'd definitely like to hear the word clunge more often.
Yeah.
On this show.
Her Mary.
Anyway, leave that.
Yeah. Clunge Mary.
I'm still none the wiser on that, but... we'll leave it.
I love the fact you are such a you're such an old man, aren't you? You're such a reactionary old man, the way you talk. You are the sort of bloke, I imagine you and your father stood in a pub, if a man came in a dress, oi, you're a bloke in a dress, take it off.
We were
Or get out
talking,
the pub.
I realised last week we were talking about things that you can, sort of say and do when you're sort of like 40. I thought another one, nod to a policeman.
Yep, definitely.
They're on the beat, they're going along, you're going your duty, you're going on, yeah, I know you're alright, I know you're alright.
Yeah.
Never mind these youngsters shouting at you and knocking your cap off.
Exactly.
It's that you can nod at
If
a
you're
copper.
40, you can nod at a copper, because it's like going, I know what you're up to, it's a difficult job, and you're doing it well.
Yeah, I respect you now. I didn't when I was
Exactly.
young. I know what I was thinking of. Well done, mate.
Well, I like the one you mentioned last week, you're now of an age where a van driver might ask you to back him into a parking space.
Yeah, well, you don't feel. You go, get out
To
of
me,
the way.
he wouldn't even consider
No,
me.
get out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're under 30, you don't even consider. It's like I was thinking today, if I was in a pub with my dad and say his mates, and they're all sort of 40 or 50, there is not one of them that would turn to me first with a pint of bitter and go, taste that, see if is that off?
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't want
would
your
never
opinion.
consider me. My
Yeah,
opinion is the
yeah.
last one they're interested in.
Yeah.
Is that off?
Things you can do over, I think, maybe 50. Wear a flat cap and not like a prat.
Yeah.
You know, you're wearing
It's
it
a
because your
fashion
head's
statement.
cold.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're wearing it because your head's cold. You're 50 years old, flat cap, fine.
Yeah, or just wear a suit and tie without having to go to an event or a convention
Just
or
get
to
up
work.
and pop on a little old suit and
Just
tie.
pop on a suit and tie. 'cause
I tell you what, I love seeing old boys in a suit on Sunday.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've got shiny shoes and they're 75.
I've got
and they go
photographs-
down the pub and I think it's brilliant.
I got photographs of one of my late grandfathers, he must have been in his 60s, on the beach, wearing a suit. Wearing a suit on the beach. I think I got a feeling he's even got a knotted handkerchief and a full three-piece suit.
That's great.
It's brilliant.
It's a decency
Because
all
my
time.
grandfather, in my mind, my grandfather was always wearing a suit. I never saw
probably
him not wearing a
was.
suit. I think he wore a suit to bed. I can't imagine him taking that suit off. It was always...
Maybe it was an all-in-one, pull-on one.
But he didn't, I mean, what the weird thing is, though, it wasn't like he worked in a bank all his life. I think he was a builder. And then he retired and thought, it's time I should start wearing a suit.
I know, oh, I love it. That's just, you know what I mean? It's because they've got to do something then. They've got to get up and they make an effort and they're, you know, they're still part of the world. As opposed to me, already just walking around in my pants.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, there's no point in getting dressed, I'm not going out.
Yeah.
Or, everything's got an elasticated waistband.
Yeah,
It's
everything,
like-
yeah, you don't even consider a pair of trousers.
No,
if I-
slip-on shoes, pull-on trousers,
Yeah.
just, yeah.
I have never seen a man with more Velcro in his closet. That has got to be for you the best time-saving device ever. Velcro.
It's great. Just me and a baby girl, a dry white baby. I went to, after we went to
Has
the
your
awards.
tuxedo got Velcro?
Well, I was still talking like that. The award show. I went home. When did we stay there? We went to 12 or something. Anyway,
Yeah.
I went home and I was watching telly at the end, right? And I was eating. I had these sesame seeds 'cause I was hungry. I had a few, and in the end, at the bottom of this jar of sesame seeds, right? Oh, there's tiny little seeds, but I didn't want to waste them, so I sort of poured them into my mouth and sort of like ate them like millet, like a budgie binging.
Yeah.
I went to bed, got up the next day. I thought, oh, I felt a bit sweaty. I had a resolve, and there was loads of seeds still in my chest.
What,
They
in
were
the hair on your chest?
Yeah. I had to pick them. It took me ages to pick them out before I had a bath. So they must have stayed there all night, but not with the, you know, with the cheese and alcohol that was coming through my pores. These seeds, and well, they started growing. I'd have to mow my chest. Oh dear.
Your girlfriend's a lucky woman.
Sesame seed chest. What we got, Carl?
Oh, do you remember we were also talking about, on the names you cannot call kids now? It's like there are certain
well, I was
names.
thinking that, like, there's great old blokes' names, but they have to be a baby ones.
Yeah, but yeah.
I name this child Alf.
You can.
Stan.
There are sort of these names which you just never name a child now. I mean, Karl, frankly, is
Oh, that's alright.
That is quite
Carl's
trendy.
good. Oh, but Sid.
Alf Sid. You would never name a child Sid. Stan.
Bert. I name this child Bert.
Did I ever tell you about my Uncle Alf?
No?
He wasn't a proper uncle, right?
Right.
But, it was just
Was he an aunt?
one of me dad's mates and
Yeah.
that. And he was getting on a bit. He must have been about, 60, which is pretty old when you're younger and that. And he was the same. He used to always wear a suit and that. But it was never in good nick. It was always like a rough suit, but it doesn't matter. He's still, making half the effort and that.
Yeah.
And he used to, sleep in a dinghy. Right, Uncle Alf.
What? In his house?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, in a flat, he's in like a little bed sit. Because he only had a little bed sit, and he was into boats and stuff. So he had this
Two
dinghy.
birds with one stone.
Had this little dinghy, had a little flat, thought, well, it's tight space and that. He had a dinghy as a bed, and he had 2 tellies, right? He had 2 tellies, one that the sound worked on, the other one only the vision worked. So if you wanted to watch a programme,
You had to turn both on.
put them both on like BBC One, turned one up, and watched the other one.
Wow. That's extraordinary.
From his dinghy?
Sat in his dinghy.
That is brilliant.
It was
I
an
just-
inflatable dinghy, it wasn't like a wooden.
Yeah, an inflatable
Yeah.
one, yeah, big
Did
inflatable
you
one.
ever go around and visit him?
Yeah, now and again.
Was it weird seeing a 60-year-old bloke in a suit, in a dinghy inside, watching 2 tellies?
It's weird out at the time, I thought nothing of
I
it.
just. but which of the TVs stopped working properly first? I mean, did he? Let's say the sound went on one of them.
Yeah.
Did he carry on watching the other one, hoping that the other one was fine? Or
No, he
did
went and got a new telly, and then the vision went on that, and he went, oh no. He went, hold on though.
Wait a minute.
I've got another telly in the wardrobe that I haven't used because it must have been like that.
Yeah.
Wow, he sounds brilliant. Is he
He's
still
alright.
alive?
Yeah, he's still around, yeah. I haven't seen him for years, but he used to,
Be alright in
Was
a
he
flood.
married?
Be alright. Be
no,
alright.
I think that's what happened. I think his wife passed away, and
Right.
that's when he had all this, he had a boat. And it's like, oh, where am I going to put it in a bed sit? And it was like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sleep in that. So, yeah.
I wonder if he ever brought any women back. Just the idea of bringing them back, getting down to it. Shall we move into the bedroom?
Ahoy! Oh, that is fantastic. Missy Elliott, Gossip Folks on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Now I know we're not meant to mention the adverts, and I'm not slagging off the advert. It's that National Lottery advert with the little Welsh fella saying your money from the National Lottery goes towards mountain rescue. We put it out there, we've saved a lot of people. Now, that's fine, that's great, well done. What I'm annoyed at is why those people are allowed to go up the mountain in the first place.
Yeah.
Don't go up there, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
You're at your own risk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's ridiculous. Just posh, beardy twats climbing mountains and sticking a flag up there. Why climb? I don't want you to. I don't want you to.
Am I paying? Is there any point, Rick, where I am paying for people to get rescued from mountains?
I'm not sure. I think the lottery's doing it now.
Fine, because I'll
But-
tell you, if it was my money, I would be living.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? I mean,
you should have to take out insurance if you want to climb up a mountain.
you should pay for it.
Yeah.
If we save you, it'll cost a lot of money. You owe you. I'll be paying it back for the rest of your life. That's the risk.
Yeah.
Not falling to your death.
Exactly.
But never being able to pay it. They're all posh and rich anyway.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't
it's just like a cat gets stuck up a tree and the farmer come out because it doesn't know any better. Imagine if that was a bloke. I'm stuck up again. Stop going up there.
But that's what I'm saying again, though. It's only a cat, so leave it up there. Get another one.
Absolutely. And there's the skeleton of Tiddles. I couldn't be bothered to go and get a ladder.
No, but it's the same. A few weeks ago, everyone was making a fuss over that sheep. That was the first cloned sheep.
Yeah.
And it died. Clone another one.
Oh, wow.
If only you could do the same with mountaineers.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks
Or,
the same. The beard's the same. They all look like Brian Blessed.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Did I ever tell you about the time that my father, when I was younger, we went on holiday, my dad he bought a little boat, little sort of wooden boat, like a 3-seater, and he and a friend of his went out with me in the boat. I was maybe 12 or 13. Went out and we sort of, so, I think we were on we had the little outboard motor, chugging out. We just thought, we thought this was real seafaring stuff.
Brilliant.
We'd lost sight of the beach because we'd gone round a corner of like a mountain, or like a, what do you call it, like a cliff. And so we were just round the corner, and there was this buoy, just floating in the water. Not a boy, but like a buoy. And, very tricky to explain that on the radio. It's the same word, isn't it?
Boy.
A boy, and
Yeah,
a boy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so we float past that and we're just chugging along. The motor conks out. Oh, I can't believe it. We have to row back in. So they're rowing away. I'm just sat there. And we noticed that every time we sort of think we've got past this buoy, it just seems to be back where it started again. And we realised that the
tide is
tide
taking
is
up.
taking us to,
Yeah.
but not taking us out, taking us towards these rocks. And we've got ravaged rocks. And we were a bit pretty scared because I can't swim very well, or I couldn't at the time. I think my dad had maybe bought, he didn't, I'll be honest with you, I inherited a lot of things from him, one of which was his carefulness with money. just the one life jacket.
How deep was the water?
Which I
there?
seem to remember he tore off my back and put on himself. So the water's pretty down. I mean, I'm not saying we would have necessarily died, but it was pretty scary because the boat, we were going to go crash into these rocks and stuff. It was getting pretty unnerving. And so they're sort of rowing like mad, trying to we're just not making any progress. And we're beginning to think that this might be the end. And, this boat, this kind of ferry boat comes chugging by doing tours. Ching, 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 ching. And it comes by and my dad goes, oh, wow. We were going, brilliant, they can help us, they'll throw us a rope, they'll tow us back in. He was going, you've got to be careful though, hang on, because according to the laws of the sea, if he rescues us, Steve, he can claim my boat. The laws of the sea mean he can claim my boat as salvage.
I love the idea of
That's like a reward. That's
doing that.
But
The laws of the sea.
what I like is, his 12-year-old son might die, he's thinking about the boat.
I know, but also, the other thing, of course, is that I like the idea of this ferry master going,
Yeah.
the boat be mine now, or take your son.
Yeah.
Let me think about it.
I need a new bed. That'll be just right. King size.
Oh dear, that's
anyway.
lovely.
So we've done a lot of stuff today. We've covered.
We've done, Arnott's
that.
Minge, we've done, oh no, what else have we done? We've done Chop Your Bollocks Off for Free.
Yeah. We've done the operations for £5 which I'm not happy about.
Yeah,
'Cause
leave the cat up there.
Could spend money.
We've done most stuff, I think. We've done a lot.
Yeah.
We still haven't done Forrest Gump in a wheelie bin, but we can leave that till next week if you want.
See, I still think there's something in the spending money in areas that it's not needed.
Wasn't
Like, the fella, if you haven't, if you've only just tuned in, you've missed a debate about a fella who needs his tackle taken off.
A debate makes it sound like it was a bit more informed than it actually was.
Well, and I'm just, all that time, that was probably half an hour ago, and I've still been thinking about other things that it would be good if more money could be ploughed into things to get them out there.
Like what?
Do you know what I mean? Well, I was looking, I'm a fan of going on the web and that.
Sure.
And, there's inventions, right? We were talking about a few weeks ago, inventions that are out there, and there's some that, are well known by famous people who have brought stuff out.
Do you know why we didn't go on with this? Because I remember saying to you about Einstein, who's thinks clever, you weren't impressed with it. I said Einstein, and you went, this is a quote, you went Einstein, well yeah. Now, I've never needed, you got it wrong, you went, I've never needed MC² in my life, but the fella who made the video recorder, I watch one a week.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Brilliant.
And it's the fact that everybody's got one good idea in them, right? Like Newton said about the apple.
Yeah.
I did Rockbusters.
Yeah.
Right? And there was this thing that was on the website.
So they shouldn't be spending money on investigating, sort of medical procedures that might help people. They should be
because
spending it
that's-
on what, Carl?
Well, I found this thing, right, Ricky? Brilliant.
Yeah.
What it was?
Little sort of mops.
What?
Little mops, like little mop heads.
Like floor mops?
Yeah.
Right.
Fit them on your cat feet. If you've got a cat. Right, if you've got a little cat.
Yeah.
Put these little things on the feet, and there was a picture of one, just like walking around the kitchen. Like that. Looking a bit like that.
Nick,
right?
you can't do looking like that on the radio.
No, but it's just looking a bit sort of fed up, but he didn't really know what was going on. Walking around, you see like the woman of the house sat in the background having a cup of tea. The cat's there walking about on the kitchen lino, mopping the floor. That's what I put my money into.
Can we get shares in this?
No, that's an invention.
How good is that?
Yeah.
Can we get shares in that?
It's good though, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, I'll market that. I'll yeah, that's amazing. I just like the idea of people struggling with their cat to get, hold on though, wait a
But
minute.
then, I'd say-
What if it had a bad kidney?
Ah, well then it's worth paying £5
I suppose a year, because it would cost a
it's
cleaner that,
working.
wouldn't it?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's loads of other things out there that gets loads of
Of course, you can stick a brush in its head and make it go down the toilet. It'll be genius, Carl.
No, but there's loads. You see, you say that. If Newton came up with it, you'd be loving it. And there'd be loads of them out there. And everything, right? That's what annoys
Imagine
me.
Newton coming up with that. Imagine Newton coming up with that, Carl. Think of it.
Well, there's other things that gets loads of praise. Penicillin. Everyone, who came up with that? Who came up with that?
Fleming, was it?
Yeah, so discovered it on a...
Right, I'm 30. Don't think I've ever used it. I've had Nurofen and Benylin. Right, so there's one thing. What's something else I was talking to you about in the week?
Oh, God, you like video. Okay, so video recorders...
Telescope was another thing you seem to think's important.
Well, no, you asked me about great inventors. I know something, so I said Alexander Graham Bell, the telephone, everything from that, linked from that. John Logie Baird, television, Marconi, the radio. I said Galileo, I was naming you stuff. It wasn't that. I was just saying that I think those things are more important than Rockbusters. I think they're better ideas.
Telescope, even telescope.
Carl, play a record, because there's a website, I must try and find it during this record. It's got loads of inventions I think you're gonna love. Vicious from Lou Reed. Always a joy.
Yeah. XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Carl, someone pointed me in the direction of this website, and basically, I swear to God, these are real inventions, okay, that real inventors have, applied for patents for, you know, so that they own the copyright.
Why don't I come up with one, a real one,
yeah,
and then you do that
well, I
one,
think some of these,
and Carl has to vote on which think's the better invention.
I think some of these, Carl, you are going to be absolutely excited by. If you love the little mops that go on cats' feet, I think you'll be excited
well, I'll
by
throw
some
one
of
up to start with. Have you got one there ready?
Yeah.
The X-ray machine.
Alright.
Oh.
So we've got the X-ray machine on the one side.
X-ray machine, Carl. Think of that.
So, you've come to me with this idea.
It goes through a patent because it doesn't need light. It excites, it can, you know, well, you know what an X-ray machine can do.
So what's happening is, right, I'm sort of head of some business, I've got a load of money.
Yeah.
You're coming to me with an idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Steve's coming with me to an idea. I've got, say, $5 and I've
come with you, I said, look, I can do transrectal operation. You go, I'm not interested. I've said, my cat needs a kidney operation. You go, I'm not interested. Right? I've come with you with an X-ray. Meanwhile, Steve walks in with...
Well, firstly, I'm going to offer you, this is, patent 5571247. You've got the X-ray machine. I'm going to come to you with the self-containing enclosure for protection from killer bees.
Tell me more.
Alright, well, it's like...
Tell me more!
A self-containing enclosure for protection from killer bees, comprising an enclosure formed of a flexible, transparent plastic material, basically, that will protect us from any killer bees that might be in the area. Useful?
Yeah.
Don't decide yet. Okay, I'll come up with another one. Refrigeration.
Refrigeration. The combination toy dog and vacuum cleaner. Let me read a bit more, don't judge yet. A toy dog closely resembling a real dog and having a hollow interior in which is mounted a vacuum cleaner having a suction hose which is retractable from the tail end of the dog. This enables vacuuming a dog after a haircut and grooming without causing fear to the dog. Because it thinks another dog is in the room.
Sorry, this is a decoy dog to make the dog not realise it's being vacuumed, thinking it's making a friend.
There's a picture of it.
Carl.
Do you see what we're talking about there? That's a dog that looks... It's a fake dog.
Also, do you see that why the cat with the mops is on Steve's side, and why sort of X-rays, refrigeration, things that are on my side, and Newtons and MC squared, as you... Can you see the difference in these can you see the pattern emerging and the difference?
Yeah, but, you see, to me...
Which are you impressed by? Are you impressed by the sanitary appliance for birds? I'll have a look at it. It's, if you've got a domestic bird, maybe a budgerigar or something, but you're tired of it crapping everywhere, these are very tiny nappies that go on a
That is real, isn't it?
Look, there's a picture, there's a diagram
Can I put the microwave up against that one? I know I need the big guns to come out now.
Oh, what are you thinking? I know you're
Budgie nappies or the microwave?
It's weird because...
Carl, are you tired of petting your dog or cat? I bet you are. That's why you need this patent pet petter. It is an arm on a piece of wood that will go up and down and stroke and pet your dog for you if you've not got time to do it.
Well, I can only put up interferon, the cancer cure, against that one.
Exactly.
Yeah. You see, a lot of these things...
These are all genuine inventions?
Yeah. And if the time was right, we'd say, get 'em made. Do you know what I mean? If there was a bad swarm in London, I'd be saying, get the bee-man on.
Yeah.
Right?
What, lose the X-ray machines, I don't care about broken bones for now.
Well, at that moment in time, that would be more important than... Do you know what I mean? We know people have been stung, we don't need to look inside them.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? It's all about... It's like the telescope now, isn't it impressive?
Sure.
If you want to see something in the distance, get on the transport and go and see it. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to look at things in the distance.
Right,
sure. Whereas budgerigars are shitting and pissing all over people's homes.
Could we put these... I'll tell you what, Carl. So it's... Looking at supernova and trying to find out more about the universe, its conception and its eventual end.
Forget that, Rick, because I've got the cheese-filtered cigarette.
Oh, now tell me more.
This is a cigarette where the filter is actually made from cheese. Apparently, cheese acts as a very good filter for tobacco, so the smoke passes through the cheese, thus you will induce a kind of smoky cheese.
And also, smoking, you know, might make you a little bit peckish, and you can just nibble that so there's no dog end lying around the pavement. Or budgie shit. It's a cleaner place, and you haven't been stung.
Brilliant. Right, now listen, so that's that done.
Yeah.
We've done that as well.
Yeah.
We're running out of time. We've got, like, 5 minutes left. Winner for Songs of Phrase.
Alright, give us the answers.
Right. We did this at the start. We haven't even got time for the film thing today.
Oh.
But we'll do that next week. Songs of Phrase. It was a phrase, you never see an old man eating a Twix.
I love the fact that we haven't got time. Like, we've had such important stuff, and it's been so jam-packed and interesting. Not that it's been drivel with gaps we could have filled much better.
Yeah.
Don't look at it like that, like,
What, with his film quiz? Come on.
Oh, dear.
So, Songs of Phrase. You never see an old man eating a Twix. We had to change it to Mars Bar. Here's what we had. Jerry and the Pacemakers. Echo and the Bunnymen.
David Bowie.
And the Beach Boys finished up.
Oh, what do you mean I thought that one was? What do you mean? Who's the winner? Oh, it doesn't matter. You gotta give the answer. Who was that one you didn't know it was us?
It was Neil Young, wasn't it?
Jim Crochet, is it? Old Man River, it's called. Jim Crochet.
Old Man River?
Yeah.
Jim Crochet sang Old Man River? I don't think so. What was it?
Who cares?
Right.
Well, people— I can't believe this.
Old Man River, it was.
Let's give the prize to—
Jim Crochet wouldn't have sung Old Man River.
Well, let's give the—
That was Paul Robeson.
Let's give the prize to Mitchell Sterling, who has got some of the answers right.
On XFM 104.9.
How will we playing that great quiz again next week?
Next week. Rick and Gervais with it on XFM's Force. And if you want to send an email, it's rickandgervais.co.uk, or check out the website on XFM's All the Cons. Good night, 3:30. Coming up is Harold Levine and Hickory Dickory Dock. Some lads there just wrote a song called Clocks. The lads are Coldplay.
And the song is?
Clocks. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, pressing the little buttons there. XFM 104.9. What's that little, Well,
I think I do more than press the buttons.
Right, see, this is it, right? Karl has had a little strop on since last night, okay? And it's—
He's had a little strop on?
Yeah.
You said strop on. I just wanted to clarify.
And, I don't know why. He says that I'm an annoying person. He says that I wound him up, right? Which I don't know. He says that you're winding up because you're sort of like negative about everything.
Negative?
Yeah. And, but what I think it is because we pointed out that his lateness is unacceptable.
Yeah.
He said, meet you at 6. He turned up at 20 past. He said, well, someone stopped me in the corridor. I don't care.
I've got stuff to do.
We have stuff to do. I think we're a bit busier than you, Karl. You've got one job, we've got loads of jobs, I keep telling you that. Yeah. You've got one job in a little room, a 9 to 5 there, that you don't even get done in 9 to 5, that's why you're late and mucking around all the time.
There's loads of work to do.
Yeah, one job.
No,
cool.
It's not. It's one job with a lot of other jobs in it. It's like those little Russian dolls you get. Right?
Well, it's not, is it?
Have a go. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks, oh, he only sits in his studio messing about, making songs of phrase. That's what I do in my free time. Which we've got coming up later.
Super slick. I still think 20 minutes late is an outrage, though.
Yeah, 20 minutes late is—
Yeah, but I didn't say bang on 6, I
You
said
said
around
6.
6.
No, you didn't. You said 6, which means 6.
Well, it doesn't.
Wait, sorry, it doesn't?
If I was a newsreader, I'd say, yeah, you've got to be on time. Do you know what I mean? If it was a 6 o'clock news, I wouldn't want to be late. But it's the fact that I said to you, I'm busy, I've got stuff to do.
No, you didn't say that. You said 6 o'clock to sort out tomorrow's show.
I didn't. I know what I said. So
yeah, well,
you don't, because I remember you sent me a text. You didn't even— it wasn't even a phone call. You didn't even have the politeness to call.
Stephen has stitched him up by being a little bit more precise than him.
It was a text, and it said, "See you around 6 tomorrow?" ?
Around. You just said it.
Well,
around
yeah,
6.
That doesn't count. That doesn't mean anything.
Well, yeah, no, it does.
What? So, all right,
you told me he said 6.
Well, he did. I'm paraphrasing. 6 o'clock, Rick. To me, even if it was around 6 o'clock, that would be 5 to 6 or 5 past 6. It would not be 20 minutes after the event, because that is late.
Well.
Well, you've got nothing, you see, you haven't even got an excuse.
Yeah, but then I turned up, right, and I said, right, well, let's not argue about this. Let's come up with some good new features, because we've been in, Cheap as Chimps, that's gone today.
Good news.
He never liked Cheap as Chimps, Carl, did he?
Right, he never liked it. Do you know what? Do you know who's took it further? Donald McIntyre.
What?
He's doing a programme, Cheap as Chimps.
No, he's not.
doing a Channel well, we'll see. Again, I'll prove you right. Again.
He's not doing a programme Cheap as Chimps, is he? He's not. What do you mean?
He's doing a tour of trail on Channel 5, and it was saying, you know...
Is it 5 or is it about 20 past 5?
He's doing this, he's done that, you know, now see him on Channel 5, because he's moved to Channel 5.
Right.
He's saying, first big problem, chimps, you know, they're deer and that. And,
no, they're not deer. He's getting confused.
No, 50-odd grand for a chimp, and it's saying, you know, he'll look into how much you can get gorilla for.
What are, in the name of God, are you talking about?
We'll talk about that later.
But I don't know what...
I'm just saying, that's another idea.
And then, so go on, you got off... This is why you never get stuff done and you're late. You got off the point, you were talking about arriving late.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying to you now, I turned up late, so I said, right, well, let's not argue.
Yeah.
I said, let's do some stuff.
Yeah.
You weren't having any of it. I think at one point you were trying to be sick on my leg.
I do remember that.
Yeah?
Why? Just for fun?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's when I started getting annoyed.
He was very annoyed last night.
No, yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see where that could be annoying, but you just gotta think, hey look, so what? It's, you know...
Well...
I think you rub each other up the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Well, no more Cheap as Chimps today, and nothing to replace it, because we didn't have a chat. Songs of Phrase, we're doing that, you can win some stuff.
Yeah, we've got the film that we haven't done for the last 2 weeks.
The final film, we won't be doing that
Let him down, it's 2 weeks. Don't you say 2 weeks late on that?
Can I just ask, guys, is there going to be some great music?
Yeah. Well,
what about something from the Only Ones?
Yeah,
the classic,
Another Planet.
Brilliant.
Who's holding you down? Another planet.
Another Girl, Another Planet by The Only Ones on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, cheer up. Come on. There's a war on. Chill out.
Yeah.
I have to say, you have become increasingly annoying, recently, Rick.
Who,
I think,
me?
yeah, chiefly, I tell you what it is, I think it's the hot weather. Can I just remind you, when we were in the office recently, we've got a little office that we write in, we work in, and, many moons ago, we were doing some work, this was when we were writing the first series of the office, and, I was typing away, I was just typing something up we'd written, and I read it back to Ricky, just to check he was happy with everything, I was reading it back, and, as part of the thing, there was a knock in the script, it said, you know, knock, and so I was acting out for him, and I knocked like this, and I realised he wasn't listening, he was in fact asleep underneath his desk, and I knocked like that, as part of, reading the stage directions, I knocked, he thought someone was coming in, he leapt up, plunked his head, zipped up, thought someone, I said, Rick, it's not, I'm just acting it out for you. He just wasn't paying attention, he wasn't listening, and can I just throw in, so recently, we're in another office, we're typing away, I look round, he's got his shirt off.
It was hot.
He's just taking his shirt off, right? So he's sat there, 41-year-old man, or whatever you are, 40-year-old man, there with his shirt out. Beautiful. I mean, I've seen most parts of your body now, at one point or another. I think from the early days when we used to work at XFM, you started showing me bits of your anatomy, which is something he does to people he likes, friends of his. I'm sure you've seen most of it, Karl.
No.
And so,
it's not that sort of relationship. Go on.
He was sat there, and there was a knock at the door because we'd asked someone who worked in the building to bring us something, and so I had to delay it by sort of not opening the door so he could get his shirt back on.
Yeah.
So he was running around trying to get his shirt back on.
So what would they have thought? What would they have thought?
They'd have walked in, he'd have just been sat there, stripped to the waist.
Didn't they sort of think, hang on, what's going on? Look through the keyhole.
No.
No. It was ludicrous, because as they came in, he was flustered and he kind of was just leaning against the window, just looking like, I often stand here with my, my shirt back to front.
I was getting like Bernard Manning. You see Bernard Manning, whenever he goes into the house, he has to go upstairs to take his trousers off. I love that. The fact that in your house, you've just got your pants and your vest on. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, but it's all the time. It's not just, I mean, you haven't done that with me, taking your clothes off and that yet. But, like, last night we were sat in the pub and I was saying, right, you know, let's not even worry about new features then. Let's get the current ones, you know, going.
Like what?
Good. Like, the one that I was trying to work out, the, cheeky freak of the week.
Think of that!
Yeah, but
Think of that, though, as a normal conversation.
Yeah, but I'd looked online, right? I didn't find that much. I found, actually, I'll tell you what I found later. Brilliant. We're looking for them, right? And then at one point, I think you said to me, "Go and, you know, what about the Guinness Book of Records?
Yeah,
you know, they'll have like
yeah.
the best freak in the world or whatever."
Yeah, ever.
So I said, "Yeah, bring one in." Now you've got one at home.
Yeah, I've got a
but you
couple.
couldn't be bothered carrying that in today, so I had to go out of the pub that I was at,
Yeah.
nip into Borders,
Yeah.
buy a Guinness Book of Records,
Yeah.
out of my own money, $18.99.
Yeah.
Bring it back, and then you said, "Oh, I don't know if I want to do this feature." So it cost me 20 quid for that. I had to buy a video for Silence of the Lambs film clip. I'm actually out of pocket at the end of this.
But do you want to work with me is the thing. If you want to work with... people would pay that sort of money to work with me, Carl. You're a lucky bloke. Think how many people think, "Oh, Carl, he gets to drink and sit."
Yeah.
Well, you were making a cup of tea and I surprised, didn't I? Little surprises.
Steve, you know last night? Do you know when I left the pub in a bit of a mood, because
Yeah.
I just fed up with not getting anything done?
Yeah.
Walking down the road, I was thinking, how can I get out of this? How can I stop having to work with them? I'm thinking, I wonder if I leave, I wonder if they'll be funny and they'll go, and then my boss will be giving me stick. I'm thinking, how much notice have I got to give out? And all this is going through my mind. I'm walking home and I got in, said to Suzanne, "I'm sick of it." She's going, "You need to do it when I get a new kitchen." And I was like, "Yeah, but how big does the kitchen need to be?" I was saying, "Do we need a big kitchen? Can we get a small one? Have we got enough for a small kitchen? Do we need so many cupboards? Can we just have wood instead of steel?" All this, trying to get out of doing this.
Yeah. It's always just, I always feel like, you know, because I like to think that I'm not perhaps as bad as him.
Yeah,
You
no.
annoy me in different ways.
Like what? How does he annoy you?
Well, stuff that, you know, I come up with ideas, say Cheap as Chimps.
Yeah.
Rockbusters springs to mind.
Yeah.
15
I like
Taiwan.
15 Taiwan. Let's just remind people what 15 Taiwan was.
It was a little feature that I wanted to give a run, you know, give it a little run, see if people like it.
The premise being?
No, there's no premise, it's just a title.
No, we were going to get 15 sort of ornaments, you'd explain them, and then people would call up and say, "That one's from Taiwan."
See? Carl, you've just explained why I didn't think that was a good idea.
Yeah,
By
yeah.
explaining the good...
No, but you know the funny thing is, Steve, right, I was walking down Regent Street on Monday, walked past one of these big stores, right, and they've got all famous quotes on the windows, right, and one of them was something like, "An absurd idea is often a great idea."
Yeah.
Do you know who said that?
Go on.
Einstein.
Yes.
Which made me wonder, if you were his mate, would he ever have done E equals MC squared? Or would you have said, "Don't bother with that, it's not going to work"? Because that's all you seem to do, everything I come up with, you put down.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing, he's negative, right? I don't know why, I don't know why he is. What else?
He messes me about, I get him concert tickets for stuff, and you say, "Oh, I didn't bother going."
Yeah.
Yeah, that is annoying.
You come in, you know, 5 minutes to go with tracks that need editing.
Yeah. The little bag, that bag that was free.
Yeah, you got a free bag today, an XFM little rucksack thing.
Yeah.
You were like, "Oh, what's this rubbish?"
Yeah.
Ricky said, "I'll have it, they're great." You said, "No, I want it."
Yeah.
Well, it was
So-
free, I needed it.
Yeah.
I'll give that as a gift or something.
So, I mean, I think on reflection, Steve is probably a little bit more annoying than me.
I won't go that far. You are annoying. If I had to go away for a week somewhere, if it was a quiet place...
Well, you
and-
are again, aren't you? That's 2 holidays you had this year, I mean.
If it was a busy place, I'd probably go with you, because people, do you know what I mean, staring at me all the time and that if I'm walking around with Steve. No, I'm just...
Can I draw up a list of reasons I don't like you, Carl?
Just being honest.
Well, I'll tell you, because the list of reasons I don't like you is incredibly long. And getting longer.
Just saying.
Do you want another slap?
There you go.
There's a star. Ash, XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Carl. Alright, let's start again. Yeah? I'm gonna be the same, but let's start again. So, what I mean is stop being grumpy, and let me carry on being annoying. Because Steve's not gonna change. He's not gonna suddenly start going, "You know what, Carl? I think your ideas are really good." Do you know what I mean? Remember when he came up with that idea, that game show idea? And you went, "Well, it's not an idea, Carl." And he came to me, he said, "Oh, I've had it with Steve." What's it? He went, "How did The Office ever get on telly?"
Well, what was the idea again, in summary?
I don't want to talk about it on air, because someone will nick it.
No, they won't!
They will. Donald McIntyre's already got Cheap as Chimps. I bet they're in the making of Rockbusters as we speak. So I'm not going to tell you any more
I
about
reckon
it. but
Bob
it's a good
Oldness
idea.
is probably nicking that idea.
Exactly.
Well,
Cheeky little. Right.
songs of phrase coming soon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it this week? What's the phrase?
We're remember the story I told you ages ago about my neighbour having a horse in their house.
Oh yeah.
Having a horse. Yeah.
What's happened with that? Lenny Henry doing it as a series.
So
And people nicking your ideas left, right, and centre.
well, that's the phrase we'll be using anyway.
What?
My neighbour had a horse in her house.
How many words is that?
6.
My neighbour had. So there's no grammar either. My neighbour had horse in the house. My neighbour had horse in house. What is the phrase?
My neighbour had a horse in her house.
Are there any
Let's wait till we
prepositions?
hear
Are
it.
there any prepositions in this sentence?
Look, don't judge it beforehand. You see, I'm
Okay.
turning over a new leaf. I think this is a great idea. I think Carl's a genius, and I look forward to hearing this enormously.
Yeah, okay. And I won't be sick on your leg, or squeeze your head, or make you jump when you're making a cup of tea.
Just looking through the Guinness
That is
Book of
still the
Records.
funniest thing, isn't it? Squeaking at someone when they got a cup of tea. Right.
There are a lot of what strike me as seemingly pointless feats.
The
And
Guinness Book of
records.
Records is right. The Guinness Book of Records is great. I used to love it as a kid. I've had about 10 copies in my life. The last one I bought a couple of years ago, present. It was really good. I love it. I love the real records: tallest, fattest, thinnest, best, fastest, most expensive, biggest, and all that. But the ones that really annoy me are the ones that. The reason these people are in there for it are the only people that tried.
What, yeah.
Balancing the milk bottle on your head.
Most watches eaten. I just found that one. Kim Sung-do from South Korea ate 5 watches, the entire watch with the exception of the wristband, in a time of 1 hour 34 minutes. What do you make of that, Carl?
Made him regular. Come on.
How did they time him?
Most live rattlesnakes held in the mouth. 8 live rattlesnakes held by, it just says an idiot.
Yeah, this gives me an idea, Carl.
Talking of idiots.
Do you want to get into Guinness Book of Records?
Carl, come on, that'd be brilliant.
Wait, there's things in there that are just absolutely anyone could do. Like that one in Big Brother, I was watching it, and it was balancing sugar lumps. I want to go. How many people try that? If there's schools around Britain going, listen, we've got to get in the sugar lump award. It's grassroots level. There's not enough kids balancing sugar lumps. How can we compete in the world market?
I was looking at it last night, and there was one about the farthest that a dog swam. I think it was something like 9 miles, but it had no choice, did it? You know what I mean? He took it out to the Atlantic or something, and so it didn't want to do
Throw
it.
it in the water.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
not alright to put it in a bin bag and chuck it in a canal,
No.
but it's for a world record.
Yeah.
9 miles it did.
Oh God.
Possible ones that you could do, Carl.
What's the most Forrest Gumps fitted in one wheelie bin?
What about this one for you, Carl? The record stands at the moment for most arrows caught by hand, but that's quite tricky. So what about most arrows caught by head?
Yeah.
And you would just fire arrows at your
They
head.
wouldn't. It would just skim off him.
Do you think so?
Yeah, the roundness. It would never actually get any sort of connection.
Fastest human crab. Could you do that?
Oh,
Can you-
do that.
Can you
What's-
form the crab?
Can you do that?
What's that?
It's just like go bending over
No, I
backwards and
can't
running.
do that.
No.
Got a bad
Right,
back.
what about
What would you be good at?
what about hamburger stuffing?
Oh,
Alright.
right, Carl. Alright. In the mouth, you mean?
Well, it says the record for stuffing the most regulation-sized hamburgers, including buns, in the mouth at one time is how many? How many hamburgers with buns in
So
the mouth?
this is just...
You're not swallowing anything, you've just got stuffing in your
Carl,
mouth.
you'd be so good at this because your shape of your head. You've got a shape. Its head's just like Hamburglar. You'd be good at this, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, you'd be perfect. You look like Zippy.
And the great thing is your head's empty, so you could get more in there. Do you know what I mean? This guy had a brain to
do
contend
that,
with.
do that. What is it? Is it possible? Is it
Well,
mental?
how many do you think it was? There were
I don't
3
know.
burgers in buns. What do you reckon, Carl?
What, how quick he ate them?
He didn't eat them, it's just how many he can stuff in his face. So literally hold them within his cheeks and his mouth, but don't swallow anything.
So what, how many burgers?
How many burgers did he manage to get into his face?
So it's a fella, it's not
Yes?
about 5?
No, 3 is the
3?
world record. 3 is
How
the world
big are
record.
they, though?
It just says regulation size.
So we could go to McDonald's or Burger King and get just hamburgers,
I think,
and that would
yeah,
count.
just the regular burgers. and we'll just
They
stuff
won't
them in
count,
there.
'cause we gotta get Norris McWhirter.
Well, yeah, but we could practice it now, and then if you're triumphant,
Come
if you
on,
get 4
Carl.
in there.
I don't. You know, I've got a small throat and that.
Well, you don't
I
have
used
to swallow,
choke
that's
a
a
lot.
great thing.
Yeah, but I don't like it. As a kid, I'm choking on stuff, and I get funny about it.
Well, no, just keep your tongue at the back of your mouth, and we'll stuff the hamburgers in.
No, I don't.
Oh, come on! Do something!
Carl, that is Dynamite Radio.
Well, here, Steve will go and get the hamburgers.
Have I got to pay for them?
No, Carl, give us the
I'm not
money.
paying for them.
Oh,
I've
come
just
on!
spent 25 quid in total on a video on a Guinness Book of Records. That's costing me another 4 quid. I'm not doing. No, I'm not doing
come on,
it.
come
No, I
on,
don't
give us the
wanna
money.
do that.
You're
It's
coming back.
too- no, I don't
Andrew,
wanna do it.
oh, come on!
I'm not doing it.
Come on, do it. It's an interesting thing. Come on.
You could be in the Guinness Book of Records, Carl.
No, leave it.
See if we can. Oh, please, phone in if you want Carl
No,
to eat burgers. You don't have to swallow them. You can spit it all out. You can be sick on my leg after. Oh, come on.
no, 'cause I don't like the stretching thing either.
Don't stretch it. You
It
can
will stretch. I'll be like the little bloody dog on the Winston Churchill ad.
Don't swear.
Well, I'm just saying,
on
though,
air.
I know, but
we
it's like-
apologise to the radio authority. Carl is not only swearing, but he's refusing to do things
Oh.
we come up with.
But the radio authority will be happy with me stuffing 3 burgers in my face.
God,
I'm
look.
not doing it.
Yeah, we will.
No,
We'll go.
leave it.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna
okay,
go to- I'm gonna
I'll
go
give you
to
the money.
Can we do
Please
songs of phrase, something?
No, let's do
No, right. Play
record.
record. Play record. He's gonna go. You're gonna do it, Carl, or you're fired.
No, actually, he wants that.
No, you're gonna do it. Do it. Please do it. It'd be great. Honestly, please do it.
What about
Please.
Chicken McNuggets? Meet halfway.
No, there's no record for Chicken McNuggets.
Well.
Mental.
So I'm not doing it, Steve. So.
You are.
104.9 in London.
XFM.
Steve,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm in one of the capital's many burger joints. I'm just about to go up now and order some burgers.
Where are you? What are you? Where are you in?
I'm in McDonald's in Leicester Square.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you getting? Just get.
Hang on a sec, yep.
get
Hello
too
there. I
many.
need to order 5 regular hamburgers, please. If that's all right. Sorry. 5 hamburgers, yes. You're probably wondering why I'm ordering only 5 hamburgers, aren't you? And let me tell you why. My friend is going to try and break the world record for putting burgers into his fat, stupid face. What do you make of that? Exciting?
Yeah.
Do you wish him good luck?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Tyre.
Tyre?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, Tyre. I'll try and get Tyre to wish you good luck in a minute, Carl. The coming shortly.
Five should be enough.
The world record is what? 3?
3, yeah.
Okay, good. I don't know what. Oh, here we go. How much is that? 3.45.
3.45 for 5 hamburgers.
It's good, isn't it? It's good value.
It is really, isn't it?
Really, yeah. I mean, if there's anyone from from McDonald's listening, they'd probably want to give us some free stuff, I would have thought. I would have thought, Rick. Would you just wish my friend good luck before you're just on the end of the line there? Just say good luck, Carl.
Good luck.
Alright then.
There you are. That's the people from McDonald's wishing you good luck. Carl, I'll be back shortly with the burgers.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Do you want the pickles left in? To your mouth. And by the way, I'm filming this, Steve. Look,
Brilliant.
Look, I've got a camcorder. We'll put this on unseen footage on a DVD or something.
Or maybe on the website.
On the Oh, Carl, what if you break the record?
Okay, Carl, I'm coming round now to just monitor this and adjudicate.
What's the web? If people want to see this on the webcam, what is it?
XFM.co.uk.
Right, okay. Hold on.
So-
Can I, Steve,
I'm
can
not
I do
being
that?
funny. I'm not being funny, right? But I think I have got like a bit of a wheat thing,
You've got a bit of a what?
a wheat allergy
Oh,
thing.
don't give me that.
No, seriously, my head's. I've been eating a lot of shredded wheat recently, and my head's got a bit bigger.
Carl, I don't think you can let us down now, mate. So you just got to put that first
No,
one
I can't put that like that in my mouth on its. I've got to break it up. I've got to break it up.
Can't break it up.
can't break it up.
It doesn't say you can on the rule thing.
It does.
It doesn't. I can't look. I physically can't.
Try it.
I can't look. I'd have to be Jay Goody to get here. Seriously, look. Oh.
Try it. Yeah, I know, but you're not approaching it right. That's it.
Come on, go on.
That's almost. Keep
Oh,
going.
God, he's not going to do one.
Keep going. That's good work. Keep going.
How did I get a 3 in? Keep pushing.
Ease
Keep
it in.
pushing.
Ease it
Keep
in.
pushing. Get one in at least.
Ease it
Get
in.
one in at least. Get one in.
Ease it in.
Get one in. Push it.
That's one. Let's go with another one.
Let's go one.
Night swimming deserves a quiet.
R.E.M. Night Swimming. It's a lovely song, isn't it, Carl? Huh? XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Carl, disappointing. Disappointing. You couldn't even get one whole burger in your mouth.
I did, kind of.
Yeah, but there was a bit sticking out, it just looked messy. There was no...
But you were saying about putting it in whole, and I don't think that's the rule.
Okay.
It's like you can get more in a suitcase if you put things in properly. So you don't just get all your clothes and chuck them in, so it's about... I reckon you've got to rip it up a bit.
Okay, do that then. See how many you can get in. You've got to get in 2.
No, just one.
No.
Well, it's
don't
three,
rip it up and pack it in. What do you do? Pack your cheeks first.
Honestly, Steve, my head is swelling a bit, because I have got a wheat allergy.
That'd be good then, there'd be more room. Right, okay, look, Carl is now just sticking it in his cheek.
Right. Yeah.
Don't eat any.
You can't swallow any. It's like a hamster, you've got to work it like a hamster.
Yeah, stick it in. Come on. Look at his face.
He looks like Marlon Brando in The Godfather.
Come on. Don't lose any yet. Right.
Pack it in, then use your fingers to pack it in.
Come
That's
on!
it. Wedge it in. Like you're grating the bath.
I can't do this either.
Keep going, keep going! Keep going, don't give up so early! This is part of the problem, you just give up, Carl, too quickly.
You failed again. It's like your history O level. Come on, Carl, come on, do something well, succeed at something. Push it in, you've got nearly a half a burger there. Or I'll come round there. You're chewing, don't chew!
I've got a bit of food.
I don't know what he said, but... Is that a
What, is that a whole one? No, it's not, I can see bits left!
Come on, Carl, come on, keep working at it.
Keep
Keep working at it. So there's so much space in your mouth, I can see it.
He's going red, okay. Okay, we do another one.
We're doing
another one.
That one then.
We're doing a... Oh, are you alright?
Are you going to be sick?
Are you alright?
Alright.
Oh god, should we play a record? He's making my eyes water now. Oh.
Anyway.
Right. Don't take any... Right, I've just got some grapes there. We've counted them out. What's the record then?
Okay, well, the most grapes eaten in 3 minutes. You've got 3 minutes, Carl, and you've got to beat Matt Hand from the UK, who consumed a total of 133 grapes in 3 minutes on the 8th of November 2001.
Right, there's 150.
So there's 150 in there.
Right. Okay.
So you've got 3 minutes.
What are the rules?
The rules
You just
are...
got to eat them and swallow them, and it's like Cool Hand Luke, right? You got to just stuff them in and don't choke, because I got worried with the burger. That's a good advert for McDonald's, isn't it? Not only was I impressed by the cheapness of them, but he couldn't even get one in his mouth.
Yeah.
So, value for money there. Maybe they'd like to send us some free stuff.
Yeah, free stuff, or just money. Any some money would be good.
Next week, Carl, you're eating Sony Walkmans.
That's right, yeah.
Available for... Right, right, Carl. Right, I think this is going to be good, right? What we're going to do, right? We've got Song 2 by Blur set up. We know that's 2 minutes, so you can play that, because that'd be boring radio hearing Carl choke, wouldn't it, for 3 minutes?
Exactly.
So, when I say go, Carl, right, I'm going to go right on the minute, right? You've got to have a handful of grapes, and you've got to press Song 2 by Blur. When we come back, you'll be stuffing your face. Hold on. You ever do that? Can you work the buttons?
I can do that.
No, I don't think you can. You cannot touch the grapes until the opening note
Yeah,
of
but
Song
hold
2
on.
begins.
When the Blur 2, when Song 2 stops, can we just press up the fader? So because you'll be stuffing
Don't worry,
your
so
face.
we're almost. Let's go. If we go.
Okay.
Any second now.
Okay, right.
You're
Okay.
ready,
3, 2, 1, go!
And he's off. It's good work from Carl there. He's approaching it cautiously to begin with. Cautiously. And he's just keeping well, let's just, just keeping people Come on, don't make him laugh, Rick. He's choking. Oh, Carl!
Quick!
Keep going, Carl.
Come on!
What happened? Did he just throw up?
No! Don't make him laugh!
Oh,
Come on!
we can make wine. Come on, Carl. You're doing so well, mate.
I want to go. Come on. Only.
Why are you making him laugh? That was a world record attempt.
Come on. He's over the.
Keep going.
Come on! You got 25 seconds. Come on. Oh.
I think that was a shame actually, because you were doing well, but something went wrong.
I know, and I think those are bigger grapes than the ones I've seen before. They're quite big grapes. Look at his face, he looks so despondent. Come on, Carl, 8 seconds. Just a few more.
5.
Come on, what's the matter?
2.
2, 1.
It's all over, Carl.
It's all over. Better count how many you did, just to... Cause you can get good at this. We can get good at this over the weeks.
I think that was a fairly pitiful attempt, actually. I really thought you had a... It's interesting, actually. These are harder records than you might think.
Yeah, I know. 6, 8, 10...
How do you feel after that record-breaking attempt?
Not happy with that.
What are you not happy about?
The fella who did it, was he in hospital and just had loads of grapes and was bored? I'm sure he wasn't producing a radio programme, that's for sure.
Well, to be fair, neither are you. What was tricky about it? What did you find hard?
I think having Ricky standing over me,
Yeah.
sort of shouting, "Go on!" isn't normal.
No. But did that, so that wasn't...
He hasn't eaten any! Hold on. That's 50 left.
That's quite a poor attempt then, by the seam of it. Would you think about trying to maybe do that again in a couple of weeks? Would you do
No.
some practice and try that again?
No, leave it. Leave it for the experts.
And there was, I noticed a tricky point, maybe sort of when you had about 50 seconds to go, you seemed to be spewing things into the bin. What was that?
Again, mainly Ricky standing over me, sort of.
88. He's
What?
got 88 left.
Okay, so what's the mental arithmetic there? Because we put how many in? Was it 150 in the thing, wasn't it?
What did I say? What did I say I had left?
Well, I'm not doing it again,
88.
so...
He had 88 left.
So 62. God, you're only at 62. What's the matter with you, Carl? There's people start you at 62. That is rubbish.
That's disappointment.
Let's leave
So
that.
you failed on 2 world record attempts there.
62, and the record's at... That is rubbish. What were you doing?
Yeah, but like I said, I've got a small throat. I can't drink a drink quick. Ever since the Mr. Freeze Pops when I was 6, that I nearly choked on, I nearly died on, I can't go back. It'd be like asking, I don't know, someone who got run over to play Frogger or something.
What's Frogger?
What, you mean
A
real life
computer
Frogger?
game. Well, just a computer game
Yeah.
brings back memories, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
can't do that.
What's Frogger? Does Frogger get run over?
Yeah.
It's a little
Like-
frog that has to run across a
Do
busy
you know?
road.
Do you know who he reminded me of? Apart from Hamburger and Zippy and all that, when he was munching those grapes because the shape of his head, it looked like a game of Pac-Man.
Yeah.
It did. As he was getting to him, it looked like.
We should have had that music.
It looked just like it. Oh,
Do you remember
Carl.
there was a board game version of Pac-Man?
Was there?
I mean, the only thing that Pac-Man had was the fact that it was on a computer and it was a little face eating things. But imagine that as a board game.
But there's board games of like things that you don't need board games for.
Yeah.
It's like there's board games of charades.
Do you know what?
You don't need that. It's like parlour games. Board games of let's watch the telly.
Yeah.
Let's play sit around. And it's all like 1999. You don't need it.
New from Mattel, a stick. Simply run along, clanking it against a fence or a metal grate.
It's fence stick. And a picture of it. Like, oh, Nan, that's my stick.
I'll tell you
That's
what.
my fence stick. Do you know I saw in a shop recently the board game of Cold Feet, the TV show. No
That
idea
is
what
a
would
winner. You are John Thompson.
Yeah.
Go back.
be. Yeah.
It's a good game.
Drink 8 pints. Go on.
Song's a phrase.
Songs of phrase, nicely done.
Right, we'll get this going.
How do you feel, Carl?
Yeah, all
Again,
right, all
disappointment. Disappointment probably to your family and friends.
Right. Well, I don't think they'll be that gutted, to be honest. Right, song's a phrase.
Well, Carl, why don't we bet you we'll come back with songs of phrase, because it's a big tease, people love that.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of the hot new
We've got
radio quizzes.
one more thing for you to eat.
No, I'm not doing any more of that, seriously. Play a song? Right, song's a phrase next, right. That was rubbish, that half hour. Rubbish.
That's great. Roots. The Seed. XFM 104.9. I bet that is a record. Eating grapes whilst DJing.
Possibly. I'm assuming if there's any listeners out there that have a record-breaking attempt they'd like to see Carl undertake in future weeks, they should email in.
I think Jono's got that one.
Right, what have we got then? That's that.
Right.
That's the silly side now. Let's get on with the proper show.
Right, song's a phrase.
Yeah, let's we do that?
On to the classy stuff.
Yeah. Do you want to do the prizes first?
Right, now then, right, here they are. I haven't seen these, but I'm excited as ever. Alright, we have a t-shirt there, arbitrary t-shirt that you have probably stolen off of someone. What does it say? Is it the Red Hot Chili Peppers? So
that's
if you found
alright.
that's not too bad. It's a big t-shirt there. On DVD, this should you be giving this away? This looks like it's the film Don't Say a Word.
Yeah.
And it's it doesn't have all the proper packaging. It's literally the disc, the DVD disc, just loose. So enjoy that. The current album from Oasis, Heathen Chemistry, DVD, on DVD, The Life of Mammals, the complete series, the David Attenborough recent DVD, that. Walking with Cavemen, which I think is a DVD, it's currently on TV, isn't it? And,
Well, there you go.
and
Not
also
bad.
the X-List, which is a good new compilation, double CD compilation from XFM with loads of stuff on there, including Nerd, Snoop Doggy Dogg, Athlete, all sorts.
Go on then, Carl.
So not bad, actually, some good
Nice
stuff.
one. Well done.
Right, so, yeah, it's a phrase that's been said at some point, or said a lot on the show. We've had, like, Hairy Chinese Kid. We went back to, my mum had wind for 5 minutes and that. Today we're looking at, my neighbour had a horse in a house, right?
Yep.
If you remember, we were talking about that probably about a year and a half ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course,
Right.
of course people remember. They've been talking about it ever since, Carl, I imagine.
Yeah.
Well, it's
so,
famous. It's a world famous phrase. My neighbour had a horse in her house.
right, so this is, this week's Songs of Phrase, and what I've done is I've got songs with those words in that make up that sentence.
Yeah.
You got to email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. There's 6 different songs, right? You email in with what?
I don't know.
what
There is 6. Me neighbour had horse in house. Is it really that sentence?
My neighbour had a horse in her house. It does work. Honestly, it works.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Don't bother explaining it.
Are you
Just
ready?
play it.
Right,
Yeah.
so here's the. Here it is.
We're just looking at
Right.
What in God's name was that?
Yeah. Name the 6 songs. Huh?
Are we naming the artists or the songs?
Either.
Artists.
Anyone who
will
gets anything can get a prize.
What's
jeez.
more, Carl?
be- Artists. Here we go.
Oh, that's tricky, Carl. That's very hard. Once more.
Email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. I'll give it.
Another
give it one.
letdown.
Give it
Another
one more.
letdown.
It's brilliant. This.
No.
How
No.
can you just say that after I've just been stuffing grapes in my face and
Well,
that?
you failed. You didn't get one burger in, right? Even when you tried to chop it up, there's 3, right? So that's it. Steve, out of the goodness of his heart, went to McDonald's. Okay, I got some grapes. You at 62.
That's got nothing to do with this, though. This is my game show here. Bob Holness didn't say, yeah, Blockbusters is good, but I never see him eating grapes. So this is a different thing. Forget that. Right? Here's the clips again. Here's the clips.
Oh, you know I said I was going to turn over a new leaf and not criticise your ideas? I think it's the end of this one, mate.
Oh, he's done it again.
It's atrocious. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you've got any idea.
Dandy Warhols. We used to be friends. That is Carl's favourite record of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, new
He
music. better new music.
gets one play a year, and he chose that.
That's what he chose.
It's all right, but I mean, that favourite track, innit? He played that. That was Carl's choice.
Just something new.
On XFM 104.9. Don't worry, we've got some really good stuff coming up later with me and Steve.
If you're from the 70s, you might like it.
You see that he's getting too cocky, isn't he?
Arrogant.
It's sort of like I mean, we've tried giving him something in his life. He's got, you know what I mean? He comes in and tells us this sob story of just like a trail of failures. And we've said, Carl, come under our wing, right? He just started picking up on him. A few other people's like, and then he does that. He fails at the burgers. He fails at the grapes. He will not trust us with, you know, what we want to do. I don't know what more we can do. It's like I've saved a mouse from a cat's jaws and it turned around and bit me.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a brilliant analogy. It's a bit like we were trying to give you something that you could care about, that you could be passionate about, that would somehow give a meaning to your life.
You would be in the Guinness Book of Records alongside. I mean, Bubble. Bubble failed. Do you want to be Bubble? Do you want to be Bubble? Or do you want to be the bloke with the milk bottle on his head?
Exactly.
Who's in there?
The guy who ate the watches.
Yes! Now, I've got an idea, Carl, because you're getting all stressed out. I don't know what it is. You're getting funny. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's...
Because you're annoying me.
Wow, you
You
say
started
that.
midweek.
I don't think I annoy anyone else, so it's just you on that. So, I thought maybe we could all three of us go away to a little health farm for a weekend. Just get like a triple room
Right,
and
that isn't happening.
Why?
You've just reminded me because you've been annoying me. Steve started getting on your case, you know, sort of ganging up on me. I'll tell you now, Steve, I just forgot. Remember a couple of weeks ago, you said to me that my pub quiz team is rubbish.
Yeah.
Right, well, it doesn't matter anymore because you're not part of it this time.
That's bad. That's bad, because it's interesting you say that, Carl. Carl, you say that because I tell you this, I found someone, mate, who could be, filling that tricky fifth member. I wanted to test them out this week, mate. On your team.
Test that on your team. Because
Carl.
I'll tell you what this is like, I don't know if you're familiar with, Paul Ince, who used to play with Man United, right? But everyone used to say he's the governor, right? Even the players used to call him the governor, right? And Alex Ferguson at Man United was like, I'm not having this, I'm in charge here, and he got rid of him. And that's what's happened. You were moaning the other week, saying your team's rubbish, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how you do on your own, right?
Carl. He's turned, isn't he?
I'll be honest, Carl, I'd like to be on your team.
Well, sorry, Paul Ince. You'll have to go and join Middlesbrough, or wherever it is he's gone to.
Carl, what can I do to get back on your team?
It's not happening. I've already filled your boots.
Don't let him have the upper hand, Steve.
No, wait a minute. I'll tell you what always annoys me, though. Ricky spends most of the show slagging you off, right, having a go at you, annoying you in the week, squeezing your head, making you eat burgers, right? But you always take out on me. I'm the one who always gets the insults. I'm the one who's now relegated from your team. Why, when, you see, this is the thing. You're just as bad as him, really, because you're siding against me, because you know that I'm willing to take it. The truth of it is this, you know that Ricky Gervais is keeping you in burgers and grapes, metaphorically speaking. He's the one that's got you in Heat magazine.
I just spat all over your new Guinness Book of Records.
You see?
Get me a tissue.
He's just squirted tea, laughing all over your Guinness Book of Records. I'm assuming I'm gonna get the flack for that.
No, it's because you made me laugh when I was drinking, because you went, it's like that, and it made me laugh, and I spat.
I just think it upsets me that you never pick on Ricky. You never ever go at him because you know he's the one who's raised your profile and made you a little bit of a celebrity.
We've missed one here. Using his teeth, Raman Andiapan, right? Husked a coconut.
He did what?
He husked a coconut. He's the fastest coconut husker in the world.
What does that mean?
I don't know, he pulls husks.
What's that?
His little face, look.
What's a coconut husking?
He pulls the husk up and look at Carl, just with his head down. Carl, come on. What's the matter?
Because that cost me 20 quid.
I know, well I'll see you alright. I've
tea all over the world's smallest man.
Why have they stood him next to the world's biggest man?
Right, I'm in a bad mood now.
Oh dear.
I'm
so
not
you
happy.
haven't got a team? Steve, I'll sort you out. Come to me. I'll sort you out.
Seriously,
Don't worry.
mate, I found someone who would help you win this week, Carl, and
No,
I was going to
Steve.
tell you about it, and now...
Steve, you can be on my team this week, and I know something about the quiz that Carl doesn't know. So...
I'll tell you, I just think that it's so ungrateful. So
Whatever.
ungrateful.
Right, songs of phrase, just give it a couple more plays. Just
Yeah.
email in, we'll pick a winner soon. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Well, this is rubbish this week. No one knows it because it's rubbish. Steve was right.
There's 6 songs there, so if you know what they are, just
That's the end of that, I think. That's the end of songs of phrase.
email in.
I think. We've got none there. No. That's the last week for that. That is
Okay, well,
rubbish.
why don't you give us some monkey news? Is it monkey
Yeah.
news time?
Come on, monkey news.
We'll play a song and we'll...
No,
have it
no,
on.
no,
No,
do
let's play
monkey
a song,
news.
let's play a song.
Oh, it's a great track.
Cheer up, Carl.
Is it new? Is this
Waiting
new?
for an Alibi with Thin Lizzy.
What year
Doesn't
was
have to
it
be
out?
new. It's brilliant.
What year was it out?
Oh, Einstein wasn't new when he came up with the greatest theory ever. Oh, hold on. Hey, oh, you're not new. You're not new. Right down, little mank twat whinges. No, but I mean, do you know what I mean? He's had a go at you. He's thrown you off his team.
I'm devastated by that. That was the one thing I was looking forward to this week.
To be fair, you were looking forward to telling him you were taking over the team, so it's sort of poetic justice. It has blown up in your face, to be fair.
True, I was trying to squeeze him out of his own company.
Yeah, you were going to try and get him out of his team.
Yeah, well,
it was a hostile takeover, and they clubbed together.
To be honest with you, there's normally 3 regulars on his team. I got 2 of them on my side, one of which was his girlfriend. So, I only had to work on him to try and get him to resign,
no.
and we'd have been away. Still, you know, we should give the prizes away.
Yeah, well,
Carl.
this has been dreadful. This thing. We started off well with him trying to force burgers in his mouth, and then he'd come up with this tapped. I mean, this is the end of this, because it's, I mean, it was shoddy to start with, no little duo couple, but this is not only, well,
I'm just saying, this is what I was saying in the pub yesterday when you tried to be sick on my leg. I was saying, come up with new ideas if you don't like them, but you diss them on air.
well, it's just disappointing, isn't it? And, right. What's that?
I was disappointed when I was choking before.
We were disappointed as well.
Yeah, you didn't try with the grapes, you were just like,
Right.
chewing on that. You meant to just throw them in and swallow them.
Song's a phrase, it was 6 songs, it
Yeah,
sounded like this.
boring. Right, what are they? Just give your
6
answers.
songs there. We had Lionel Richie, My Destiny, for My.
Tricky.
Neighbour.
Oh, that's XFM. Ooh.
My Neighbour was
Space.
Space, Neighbourhood. Had Harry Connick Jr. Had to Be You.
Yeah.
Right.
Had your neighbour had a horse.
Horse
America.
America, yeah.
We had a horse.
In
was Lisa Stansfield with
Pathetic.
In All the Right Places.
Oh, pathetic. Did anyone get that?
And
no
a
one
house
No one
from
got that.
Animals.
So that was pointless.
Alright, well, the most anyone got was 3,
Yeah.
and we're going to give it to Deborah, and that's
Yeah.
possibly Deborah and Kate. They got
Right.
at least 3 of those, so well done. to
Okay,
them.
well done. Yeah, there's prizes on the way. That's the end of that. So that's the no cheap as chimps, none of that anymore. What have you got left? You got the film to do? Let's see what you've done with the film.
Hang on, I'd love to have some monkey news there.
Go on then. Got any monkey news?
Yeah, got some monkey news.
Come on then.
No, Rick, come on, cheer up.
Well, it's a sort of like, he moans that he's got too much time on his hands, and he comes up with that
Okay,
shite.
monkey news, the jingle, please.
Ooh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
There's been quite a lot of stuff going on. There was a few bits in that Guinness Book of Records book that cost me 20 quid.
Yeah, well, that's not news, is it? They printed that probably last September.
No,
so that's
there's one in there.
new music. New monkey news from last September. You're a lord.
Come on.
Waster.
Please, Ricky, monkey news.
Right, there was this monkey in a zoo in Brazil.
Right.
Right. And there's a little man monkey, a little woman monkey. And
You're a scientist, aren't you? Go on.
and they said the people in charge were like, oh, wouldn't it be good if they had kids?
Brilliant.
Right. So anyway, the chimps used to stand sort of, you know, they'd have their little caves each, and they used to sort of lean on the fence having a bit of a chat and stuff with each other. Right? Well, you know,
Just gossiping, yeah, gossiping.
the equivalent sort of thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, they were getting on a storm, and like the zookeepers were like,
Can you hear that cheapest chimps this week? I thought it was fascinating. Yeah, just gossiping, I understand.
so
What's any monkey news? I don't know, it's tune in.
What was monkey news this week?
Come on. It was from last September.
so they were you know, stood there having a chat, and the zookeepers were like, I wonder if they're ever gonna, you know, have kids and that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it went on for ages, you know, this just chatting, no sort of action.
Blimey.
So what the zookeepers did was, they said, I know, they'll have kids.
Are we letting that go? They were just chatting. Are we just letting that go?
We're letting it
You know
go.
what I mean? I mean, just doing whatever monkeys do.
Okay.
Right? So, so the zookeepers were like, yeah, I wonder when they're gonna, you know, have some kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, what they decided to do, to sort of do to egg them on,
Yeah.
bought one of them a suit, one a wedding dress.
Right.
Keep going!
No, I'm not having it.
Shut up, Gervais. Fade him down if he's going to interrupt. I want to hear the rest of this.
They got married.
So they
and,
got married?
Yeah, they got married.
Right.
What? That's the end of it!
That's
This is why I don't... Right, that's the end of monkey news. That's the end of monkey news. Don't do that again. You've got no features left.
why don't you like that?
Well, it's not a story! It's about two chimps chatting, which doesn't happen. The zookeeper's going, I wonder if they're going to ever have kids. Egg them on. They got married. That's the end of the story. What are you talking about?
Hang on, just calm down. Let me just check that you didn't make a mistake there and didn't lose out.
What do you mean you didn't make a mistake?
Shh, wait a minute, he may have just left out a fundamental piece of information.
What,
that
the
would-
story?
That would have made it into a story.
Right.
Let me just check the facts. So they bought them wedding outfits. They were married. Did they propose to each other, or were they just forcibly
Don't
married?
encourage him.
Just forced onto
And
it.
then what was the outcome? Once they got married, what happened? They fell in love?
Yeah.
What?
Whoa.
It's not a marriage, Carl.
Be quiet.
It's not a real marriage. I don't know what you've got in your head. It's like the head of Homer Simpson. I'd go in there and there'd be a wedding reception and there'd be a couple of fights and they'd be talking about stuff.
They got married. They fell in love. Did they have children?
They're not back off the honeymoon yet.
Play a record. You got no features left.
Eve, Satisfaction, new single.
Yeah, XFM, quick, play it. Right, we've waited 3 weeks, we are going to play it. I don't care whether we're late. We were late in because there was news. So, play it.
Which film are you in this week?
Looking at Silence of the Lambs.
Right, play it. Just play it.
Have we got a question?
Well, come
No,
on
who
with a question
cares?
after.
Who cares? Should Carl carry on? Play it.
Right, Silence of the Lambs. The bit where, Jodie Foster is having a chat.
Good evening, Clarice.
Right. Just thought I'd, come and see you.
How very thoughtful.
Don't mind me popping in though, do you? It's just no one else is interested in the sort of things I like talking about.
People will say we're in love.
Well, say what they want. Did you hear the show last week? We were talking about gay people, if they should have their own toilets or not and stuff.
That was good.
Yeah, it was alright, wasn't it? Got a good debate going. Enjoy doing the show. It's a favourite part of my week, really, just talking about weird stuff and that.
Oh, Clarice, your problem is you need to get more fun out of life.
I have a lot of fun in my life. You know, come and see you, and spend a lot of time on the internet looking up weird stuff, reading something about a hairy Chinese kid. There's another thing. There's a fella who no arms and legs, is known as a pillar man.
Everything you need to find him is right there in those pages.
Bizarre magazine. Yeah, I get this. The hairy Chinese kid, what annoys me is he could sort it out. He could just have a shave, couldn't he? Do you know what I mean?
No, he cuts.
Does he? Well, use some like Emacs stuff. Yeah, don't be getting funny with me, just 'cause you're in a bit of a mood, right? You know you shouldn't eat people. Your eyes are bigger than your belly, I've always said that, so... See you later.
Interesting. Atmospheric, moody, and the question is... okay, how about this? How many films have been made featuring the character Hannibal Lecter? How many films
They
have
haven't
been
got
made?
time to phone in now, have they?
No, they can email in, they'll have time. Do you care?
I don't care.
No, exactly. Ricky.Gervais, xfm.co.uk, if you can be bothered. If you're interested in what, and you want a $4.99 copy on VHS of Silence of the
He's
Lambs.
dissing that as well, Carl. Wasn't it that?
Bit annoying, but that's it for this week.
But remember what happened when... No, it's not. It's 9 minutes to 3.
Don't
How
annoy
can
him,
that...
tell him, Steve.
No.
Sick of this
How
every
can
week.
that be it? It's 9 minutes to 3. What's he doing? Is he playing a record?
Carl, what can I do to get back on your quiz team?
You're not...
Go on.
Talking to the songbird yesterday.
Right. Songbird Oasis, right. Send Carl a little present. Send him some essential oils or something, or, a little lavender pillow, or just a little message. Send him a little message. Tell him it's all worth it. He's getting all grumpy, aren't you?
I just get sick of it, that's all. It's not worth for going through the stress for 30 quid every Saturday.
You lying little... You'd get more than 30 quid.
Oh, not much more. Anyway, Steve, who's the winner?
The winner is Mike McNulty. He correctly answered the fact that there were 4 films featuring Hannibal Lecter.
There's a downer now, isn't there? There's a downer.
I think it was you, actually. I mean, I don't know, Carl. It's not like I'm just trying to win myself a place on your team, but I actually felt that Ricky was really out of order this
I
week.
gave him grapes.
I thought Ricky was discourteous, if that's a word. I thought he was rude, aggressive, unpleasant. As one person emailed in, a dickhead. So, someone also said you were fat and talentless. I don't like those emailers who do that sort of thing, but one of them said you were really, really annoying.
Well, cheers for that, but you're
And
still not on
they
the
didn't
team.
like what you were wearing.